This week we're heading to a state that the name literally translates into the color red, so it's a perfect fit for us. It's also the first state that I ever went elk hunting in, and we even found a place to stay called the Red Arrow Inn and Suites in Montrose, Colorado.
Well, you know, the juries have the Jury Inn, and we have the Red Arrow Inn and Suites, but you guys didn't know that we own a chain of hotels. It's pretty cool. It's part of our life. It's boring. It's a nice place too, man. They got a pool and Wi-Fi, HBO, hot tub. So if you're ever in the Montrose area, stay at Red Arrow.
We're going to be heading to the Hughes Ranch this week, and my good buddy Wayne Carlton recommended this place to us, and Scott Hughes runs the place.
We finally made it, man.
Spot.
How you doing, buddy?
Nice
Good to meet you, Scott. Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Good.
Find your way?
Oh yeah, no problems at all.
Now, if you've been watching us the last couple weeks, we've been elk hunting out in Montana and have been very successful. Jordan and Austin are still hunting out there, so we're going to be checking in with them every day on this trip to see how they're doing out there. But right now, we're heading down to southern Colorado. We're going to spend the night in a hotel. We're going to wake up the next morning and hopefully elk hunt that evening.
Let's head south.
Let's do it.
Show you the way about an hour and a half.
Okay.
All right.
Right behind you, man.
So with any luck, this week in Colorado, we're going to keep up the bull killing. We're going to be reliving some of our old elk hunts from Colorado.
Let's do it. Bring your bow, just in case.
And it's going to be a lot of fun this week, and hopefully by the end of the week, we're going to put an arrow in a good bull. You know, Colorado for me, like I said in the beginning of the show, it's got a special place in my heart, and the reason is it's the first place I ever got to experience an elk hunt.
Colorado, still a long way to go, but we're here. We're in the right state anyway.
Really, before I even started doing the TV show, the year I was trying to make the pilot for the TV show, this first bull elk was really special to me. I got to do it with a long-lost buddy of mine.
Oh, sorry. Just the backseat driver.
Took it down to the wire. My buddy Chad killed a nice bull. And on the last day, with the sun setting, the light fading, a bull comes into this water hole that we're set up on. Man, when this arrow found its mark, words can't describe how excited I was to be the proud owner of a brand new hundreds of pounds of elk meat. You know what I mean?
I was so excited.
Killing a bull elk is a big deal, especially to an East Coast Southern boy that had only dreamed about it and seen it on TV.
That just happened. That's what I wanted to say.
You're taking home a year's worth of protein for your family, a year's worth of meat. That's a big deal to me, man, and I was super excited when I heard this thing crash up in the Aspen Grove about 80 yards away.
Bring you some milk meat? Milk meat? What's milk meat?
You know, it's funny, after shooting this bull and watching this footage back, and Wayne Carlton, a legendary figure as far as game calls as well as elk hunting goes, Wayne was instrumental in me getting into the hunting industry. I sent out a pilot video, you know, when I was in college, just some college kid, and Wayne was my very first sponsor with Camo West, and Wayne's the one that set up the hunt that we're actually on this week too. You know, without Wayne Carlton and Mark Carlton, I wouldn't be here 9 years later. You know, you're the one that gave me my start in the hunting industry, and I just wanted to recognize you a little bit on this show and just say that I do appreciate it and think about it every day. You know, without you guys, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know, I thought nothing could top that first bull I killed with Jeremy out in Colorado, but on another trip out to Colorado, I was hunting with my buddy Zach. Lee and Tiffany were there in camp, and they had seen some elk that week, but they had to leave camp to actually go hunt in Montana. That first day we got out, we got right into them. I was a little bit excited when I shot that bull. Me and Mike had a little bit of a dance party in the sage flat there, a little bit. It didn't get weird or anything. We just, you know, a little man hug in there, and then we went and got my bull.
Hey, dude, we got it. We got the bull.
Oh my gosh. This doesn't happen in real life. That doesn't. He is a stud. What you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
7 by 8, baby.
7 by 8, man.
So you know there's big bulls in southern Colorado. I mean, we've proved it. Zach and Manny had 2 great encounters on really big bulls. I killed a giant bull. Southern Colorado is definitely the place to be when you're elk hunting, no doubt. On day 1, we got into camp. We'd already met Scott. We met our guide, Jack. We sort of got our gear sorted out and hit the mountain as fast as we could. And we had a pretty good ride in the Polaris Ranger to get up to the top of the mountain where we could start hunting these elk. And I think by the time we actually got into elk country, it was around 5 o'clock. Man, this was some beautiful country that Scott Hughes has got out here. It's breathtaking. You stand up on that, and once you get on top and you look out over all those aspen groves and all those meadows and big ponds and gorges and big rock gulches and everything that he's got, it's got everything you think Colorado's supposed to be all in one view. And that's what we were going to get to hunt for the next 4 or 5 days. But we got right into them, man. We saw the whole hillside was covered with elk, one really good 7x7 bull, and some others, really. I mean, we spotted a bunch of bulls in some thick brush on the other side of the mountain. Not really a good scenario as far as daylight, because we're losing daylight fast. We did have one 5-point bull come in, and he got within range. I think he was about 60 or 70 yards. So you're caught in that classic dilemma, like, I want to just shoot anything, but Scott's running a guide service, and I want to do him proud too, man. I want to kill a nice, decent-sized bull that he can proudly display on his website. After seeing that ginormous 7x7 across the mountain, I didn't want to tag out on a 5-point on the first day in the first 2 hours of the hunt.
Don't give me permission to shoot a spike, because I will. I shot that bull.
I was like waiting for you to crawl back to your bow.
It's just winding down to be the end of the first day. We've seen, I've lost count, I think somewhere upwards of 6 bulls. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I think we located them.
I tell you what, this will make old redneck get picky. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. As tired as I am, I ain't gonna be able to sleep. This is morning 2, or day 2, and we're just gonna ease right down the fence on Jack. Just like you said, go down. And that's where we was glassing those elk yesterday on that face over there, wasn't it? This face right here. Yeah.
That big 7 came through with the cows.
Yeah. I think that big 7-point. He's nice. Let's get after him.
One of the things that Scott does on his hunting operation is he keeps a sanctuary. No human should ever step foot into unless they absolutely have to. And it gives the elk or the deer or whatever game animal, you know, a place that they can feel comfortable and you're not driving them off your property. They move in and out of that sanctuary all the time, and that's where you hunt them. You hunt them on the fringes of the sanctuary. You hunt them, you know, on different travel corridors to and from the sanctuary. The problem with it is sometimes the elk will get down in the sanctuary or the deer will get down in the sanctuary, and that's just where they want to be at a given time.
The wind is just not in our favor this morning.
The wind was just drifting right down into the elk, and we had no way to get around to the other side of them, so we were going to really have to take a little bit more of a conservative approach than I'm used to. The terrain, the sanctuary, and the wind direction just weren't going to allow us to do that. We were going to have to kind of hang back and see how the morning unfolded.
I don't see any bullet holes there. Found the elk, problem was it's already dead. Something got it. Does sound like Jurassic Park. It reminds me of New Zealand during the roar when they're really roaring. Especially that one that's got that growl in its bugle. We got a couple different bulls. We got at least 2 big bulls, it sounds like, on either side right here. And one behind us is probably the big 7x7. Well, we got on some bulls. I mean, we didn't really get in them, but they're over here on the sanctuary hill. We heard one bugle up here, and we're hoping to kind of hunt our way back through the wind and run into that one on the way back to the Polaris, but it's tough, man, because we've got like 5 bulls screaming their heads off right behind us. But that's a designated sanctuary area, so we can't really charge in. Plus, even if it wasn't, the wind's not right for them. We'd have blown them out of there, so sometimes, especially when it's early in the hunt, you better be safe than sorry, you know.
You know, like I said, it was really dusty on those trails, and I even had to go to the point of keeping my Hoyt bow in a PSC bow case.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Shameful.
Let's go kill an elk. That's the daily plan. Go kill an elk. Oh good, our wind's terrible. Jack's peeing. Caught me taking a selfie. Well, it's about sundown. The elk are in this little valley right here. They call it a sanctuary. And we can't hunt anything on that side, so we gotta wait for them to come this way. So it's a game of will they get here before we lose light. So we're gonna set up this little oak scrub brush right here. If we can't entice one to come by us. They were up in here last night late, but it's just kind of a moon's getting more full every night, so it's not looking good, but you never know, you can always get lucky. We set up, they're fired up, they're bugling like nonstop. I think we got about as much chance of it. These elk coming up through this thick stuff as a snowball has on the end of Satan's hay fork. But, you know, we're here.
Once these bulls and cows got up into the meadow where we were, they were fair game for us to hunt. And it seemed like that they were moving out into those meadows every night a little bit earlier. So we're just gonna have to keep our fingers crossed that, you know, one of these nights before the week is up, that they're gonna be out there in the daylight.
All right, well, it's day 3. We're still here in Colorado trying to find a bull that wants to cooperate. We're hunting some new country. The outfitter, Scott, saw some elk running out on what they call the mesa right here. So we're just kind of glassing, looking around, seeing if we can see a new herd of elk or a different bull to get on. The problem we're running into right now is the moon's really bright. By the time they come off the mountain, come through the area that we can't hunt and come into some of our hunting ground, it's getting pretty dark and we're having a hard time getting them on video. So you can all turn around, we might walk around the next corner and be on some of them, so we'll see. Day 3. Second to last evening, fixing to head down here this cornbread field they call it, to see if we can't find an elk that wants to play ball. It's been real like bluebird skies, no clouds, real hot, super hot. They hadn't really been coming to the calls, they just been kind of having a humongous party over on that mountain, just screaming. There's so much vocalization that calling is almost like white noise. They answer you, but they don't come. So plan is tonight, they've been going down to this one pond and then crossing the fence and coming over onto this property. And the plan is to just be in that field and try to get them crossing. So
we eventually made our way down, got set up behind a log, and hey man, we had a cow and a calf in range, or pretty close to in range, within a few minutes. I'm sitting there cow calling a little bit, and I hear one just screaming down in the bottom. Now what I should have done is got up and closed the distance by half, right then. What I did do is I sat there and called again, he answered again, and then Josh and I got up and slowly, in hindsight, too slowly, started making our way down to where the bull was screaming at. So by the time we got 60 yards from where we should have been, he was already coming to the call, cutting up through the meadow after those cows. And he trotted out in the open just out of bow range, man, and it was heartbreaking. I knew better than that. A cool ending because it was a beautiful bull, not the biggest bull in the world, but it was cool to see one, you know, very close as we've been all week to a good bull. But at the same time, it was kind of heartbreaking on the last day as the sun went down to watch one trot by just out of range.
I've done some hard hunting.
yeah. Dang, man, I appreciate it.
Well, the good news is the week didn't end without a kill because we get a call from Jordan and Austin, and they got him a bull, and it's not only a good bull, it's the biggest bull Austin has ever killed in Montana. You know, we're definitely gonna have to put a Primos warning sticker on this thing. There might be some shaky footage or some out of focus, but these guys did a pretty good job for not being professional camera guys, and you know, they did get the kill shot on video. You know, right away the guys noticed that the shot is a little back.
I hit this bull a little far back last night, but that rage hypodermic did the trick. We watched him go into the trees and he didn't go but 60 yards and bedded down and died, so we got him. My biggest archery bull to date here in Montana.
Well, you know, sometimes bow hunting doesn't turn out exactly like you want it to, but I got a lot of people to thank at the Hughes Ranch, Scott Hughes, Dan Hughes, Matt Hughes, everybody that's involved, Cowboy Gary out there, our guide Jack. We had a great time. They've got great facility, great food, and they got some great elk hunting. We just ran up on a little bit of rough luck this week, and that's the way it goes sometimes when you're hunting an animal with a bow and arrow.